to Patriots Unplugged here from the Kevin Self Broadcast Center. Today's show is sponsored by the Northwest Shoals Alabama Mental Health Center. I want to say thank you to Coach Twerberg, Coach King, Spencer Tyrer, Coach Langston, Brent Cummings, and former baseball alum Jeff Bolger in studio. Now we have Lee Fowler, former Gulf alumni. So, Lee, just want to say thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank you too.
So you mentioned this off the air, and we'll get into some of what you've been doing, but just what it means to you that you played at Northwest Shoals, and then getting to bring golf back, and especially with a guy like Tim King coming in as the coach. But what does it mean to you that when you heard that the news they were bringing golf back?
Oh, it means a lot. Taylor Franks, the athletic director here, does a really good job. You can tell she cares a lot about the kids and her programs. And in a time where a lot of schools are dropping golf because it's not a revenue sport, I think the schools that are buying into it, it means a lot because it's a good opportunity for these kids to continue. If they like golf in high school, we try to get them into it and develop them the best we can, but there's a lot of kids that love it anyways. And without Shoals having a program here, the thought of playing after school is just not a reality for a lot of people. Now it is. And so I know Shoals, it's important for them to have a lot of local kids on their team. And so we're going to spend a lot of time and a lot of our resources developing kids in high school to where hopefully we can feed them right into this program. Tim King, they couldn't have hired a better person to be the coach. He loves kids. He's alumni himself, as you know. Tim pours into kids more than anybody ever knows. A lot of the high school teams, they've got coaches that don't necessarily play golf. Tim spends a lot of his time for free helping them learn what to do, where to go, and how to play. And so I think the environments here is great. The people that are associated with it is awesome, and it's just a really good thing for the kids.
And you're right. I mean, I've when you do this show and you get to see people off the air and just athletic director Franks and then Tim and what they mean and how much they care for their kids. I mean, they really, really do. You can tell. So tell us a little bit about. We've mentioned it a little bit, but over the last few times we've had Coach King on, but just tell us a little bit about the Chris Byrne Foundation and kind of how that got started, and kind of your vision for that and how it's taken off.
Okay, so Chris Burns was a golf coach, teacher here for a long time out at Florence Country Club, a historic place over in Florence. And Tim was like, or Chris was like a granddad to a lot of us. 200 or 300 kids came through there, and a lot of them went on to play in college. Of course, he's got Stuart Sink, who's a professional golfer. Chad Parker, who is still heavily involved in the foundation, is the CEO and general manager at Eastlake. So he put out some good talent, but he also put out a lot of normal people like me who still play golf to this day. And so the golf not being a revenue sport doesn't get a lot of resources from the county, the city. I think Shoals has stepped up and done a good job giving them resources to have a good team and program here. But Chris got sick and passed away a couple of years ago. We hung out with him a lot 2 or 3 years before he got sick, just going to see him and talk to him. And Chris spent a lot of his time, like Tim does, for free, helping kids learn to play golf. And so we just know how much of a benefit golf is to people. You get to play it the rest of your life. It keeps kids out of trouble. It gives them something to do. It teaches character. You've got to follow the rules and all that. And so the main reason we started the foundation is because golf just doesn't have a lot of resources. And in our area, there was kind of a lull. I guess the market crashed in '08 and 2010. Golf kind of went away. And it's come back over the last 6 or 7 years. You can kind of feel the momentum with it. And a lot of the schools are filling their golf teams back up again, but they need resources. So we try to be a centerpiece to collect resources from the community to put back into the golf community.
So, Tim, what does it mean to just have a former alumni like Lee that's so close by, so instrumental in getting the program back and just giving back? What does it mean to have a guy like Lee in?
I mean, it's it's amazing actually. It's like Lee was actually one of my NAJJ kids back when he was a kid. A lot of these kids that played here and played at UNA were NAJJ kids, so I've known them since they were kids. So to have that relationship prior to and now, like it's a lot of programs don't have that. If you can go look at division, even Division I programs don't have somebody in a group of guys or a group of people who want to put into a program. So for us at the junior college level to have that is, it's amazing. They're gonna the simulator with the golf suite, the things they're doing that's gonna help me with recruiting and development it's amazing.
Well, Lee, I can say right now, just because there's so much more that I want to talk about, the Chris Byrne Foundation and stuff, and we're going to have you back in for sure. So, but just tell us a little bit about, before we get off here, the simulator and some of the things that you are doing in the school systems.
Yeah, okay, just real quick, we try to sponsor lessons and clinics for any kid that can't afford it. Golf lessons are expensive. We've donated snag golf equipment to every elementary school in Lauderdale and Colbert County, and our goal there through Chris, we try to model everything through him, but it was to get a club in as many kids' hands as you can. We got a club in over 5,000 kids' hands that first year, so we try to do that part. Moving on into the high schools, we set up ways that they can raise money for their programs by spending time with the kids in the PE classes. And our most recent thing that I guess is the biggest and heaviest lift so far is we're trying to donate golf simulators to as many schools as we can. So we've gotten them in Central High School, Waterloo, Deschler, Morris Hill, Florence High School's got one. We donated one to UNA last year. And this past year at our tournament, we featured Northwest Shoals, and we'll probably continue to do that because they're the landing spot for the high school kids. But we were able to donate one for the golf suite that they're building for the team. So we just try to do the best we can to give as many people a chance to practice that we can.
Well, from all of us here, at the radio station and the Northwest Shows, we'll say thank you to Lee to what you do. I mean, like I said, I've heard many, many things about it, and if we can help you with any of those tournaments in the future, let us know. And like I said, and you're right. I mean, like I said, it's so exciting to have golf back right here in our own, town, and also just getting the conference championship here on your home course is just amazing. I want to say thank you, Tim, for doing that. So, again, Coach King, Lee, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much. It's been fun.
So we'll be here next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Thank you so much for joining us.